Hello scrappers and planet lovers, Tin Man here with another video. So today what I want to do is talk about faucets and taps. You find them a lot while scrapping and they come in a lot of different sizes and shape as well as a lot of different materials. Some are stainless steel, some are brass, some are zinc, some are chrome coated, and some are actually plastic made to look like certain metals. So what I want to do today is I'm going to go through some different styles, different materials, hopefully help you identify how to sort them properly, and most importantly, how to maximize your profit. So the first thing before I begin, unfortunately, I do see a lot of people bring these to the scrap yards as is. As you can see, there is a lot of different metals on here. I have some copper, I have some brass inside, there's some stainless steel, and unfortunately, if I was to bring this in as is, I'm gonna get low grade price. So I'm gonna make about 60 cents a pound because of the metal inside and the time it's gonna take to sort this. With a little bit of extra time, I can totally upgrade this. These pipes are actually, once cleaned, going for #1 copper, which is actually $4.60 a pound Canadian. The clean brass is going for $2.85 a pound. And they are very easy and quick to take apart, so well worth your time. The first one I actually want to start with is this one. This one, as you can see, a lot of times they are nice and shiny, metallic look. And the question a lot of people have is, are they chrome, are they stainless steel? Well, the nice thing about this, I've already removed the top of it. There is a cap. Some people, I think, just don't know how to remove the items. This comes with a cap, and usually on the handle in the logo, you can see the hole there. There is just an Allen bolt there that you have to take out. The top comes off. The bottom will come all off as well with a couple screws. As you can see, I've got a little bit of screws in there. And unfortunately, if I was to bring this in like this, there is metal in there. This is going to be dirty. The first thing you want to do to see what kind of metal it is actually take a magnet. Okay, so I'm going to actually look at the bottom part first. And if I put a magnet to it, you can see that it sticks. Stainless steel is non-magnetic. So this is not going to be stainless steel. This is actually going to be going into my chrome covered because there is a nice shiny look to it. The zinc pile zinc is more of a dull color or a lighter gray. Not a conclusive thing, but they are definitely, chrome is more of your shininess, and chrome compared to stainless steel will be magnetic or could be magnetic. Stainless steel cannot be. So this is not stainless steel. As you can see now, I have my frame. There is a little bit of steel on here that I do need to take off. But I do have some really nice copper as well as some hose ends. These hose ends are actually stainless steel. And if I take them off, which I'm going to do right now, stainless steel right now is going for 77 cents a pound. And this one actually does have right on here the cord that says with stainless steel, where is it, with stainless steel braid. If you did not have this label on here, if you scratched it underneath it because it's stainless steel, it will show a metallic cover underneath as well. If it was brass, there would be a gold color. So these are stainless steel. You do want to check your ends. Sometimes they may be brass. These are non-magnetic, which means that they're either going to be brass or stainless steel. If I take a file to it, again, it does not reveal the gold look, so this whole thing is going to be stainless steel. So that's great. I do want to make sure once I do that, I take the plastic off. This plastic is obviously garbage. I do have a small piece of metal here. There it is, there's the metal. And in order to maximize my profit, I want to, as I said, clean this copper off. There is a small little end here as well. I'm just going to unscrew it. Inside there, you do see a small screen, and the screen is actually going to be stainless steel. This will be, if I scratch it again, where's my file? it is going to be as well, stainless steel as well. But I do want to make sure I take that steel screen out of there because, or the steel ends, there it is, the washer, plastic. So now I have a nice stainless steel ring that's going to go into my stainless steel. The copper now, to maximize my profit, I'm just going to take a pair of pliers and I'm going to cut as close to the brass bar as I can to get that beautiful copper. As I said, copper right now is $4.60 or $4 to $4.60, I think, a pound Canadian for #1 copper, which is amazing. So there is my part. I want to get this brass end off as well. So same technique, I'm gonna just get as close as I can to the brass. So now I have a really nice piece of #1 copper, as well as I have some brass. Inside there is a little bit of copper. Depending on you, you could open that with an angle grinder and separate the brass from the copper, or I would just throw this into my dirty brass copper bin. It's a little bit higher price than brass clean because of the copper. So that is a better option, I think, than wasting some of an angle grinder. The last thing I have, once I remove these screws, because these screws are going to be steel, they are going to go into my nuts and bolts, which is steel priced. I'm going to look at the frame. The frame is non-magnetic as well, and it is shiny, but again, it is going to be in my stainless steel pile. If it was, as I said, magnetic, then it would be going into my chrome. So that is definitely one thing. So the next one I do want to look at, unfortunately, is this example. So this type of example looks like chrome. I actually have two matching ones, as you can see here. Already took this one apart. If I take the handle off, you can see a really nice brass and some copper there. This copper, as you can see, with all the heavy soldering on it, this copper is going to be going into my #2 copper. #2 copper is going for about $4.30 a pound Canadian, so still amazing. This is a really nice hunk of brass. This probably weighs 2.5 pounds itself, but this item is very deceiving. It looks like chrome. However, if I call it the bang test, bang it on my bench, you can see that it sounds like plastic. And that's because it is plastic. It is made to look like chrome. If I was to compare this with, for example, this one, you can hear the difference. Okay, as well as another example I have here. I've got a couple examples. Where is it? This one, you can hear the ping. Okay, just like the bottom here. This one, you hear more of a ping. This is metal. Okay, so there are a lot of times where you're going to be or have to look at it to make sure that it is metal. This one, another example from the base of the tub. As you can see, there is a really nice brass elbow there with copper. There's a pipe inside. This, however, if I take it to the camera, this is actually plastic. That's a nice thick piece of plastic. So unfortunately, I can't throw this into my chrome bin or my zinc bin because something like this, it's plastic with a very little cover or colored coating. So the scrapyards are not going to take this coating. You do want to make sure you separate the brass and the brass inside though. Another one, this one is my stopper to go in my sink. I do not want to scratch this one because I borrowed it from inside the house just to show on this video. But this is also plastic. So you do have to be aware of that. So as I said, I call it the bang test. Metal definitely has a different sound as well as a weight. This is a lot lighter. Plastic is lighter than the metals. Right. Another one that I want to look at is your types of taps like this. If I turn this over, as you can see, a really nice hunk of brass inside there. These are more of your older style. Look how nice that brass is. Okay, and the top part, some people are going to think, oh, it's stainless steel because if I put a magnet to it, it doesn't stick, which is true. However, and I've already done it, actually, I'm going to use this example. You can see the brass at the top. If I scratch this faucet, which I'm going to do right now, you can see right up at the camera there, hopefully you can see that, the gold finish there. This is actually brass. So the brass has a nickel coating on it, but I'm gonna make more money for brass, putting this in my brass. And as you can see inside, there is the wear marks there. You can see the hint of the gold or the clean brass. So this is brass. The rest of this frame, as you can see, if I scratch it, it does not reveal brass, okay? But the magnet test, it does not show that it's magnetic as well. So this is actually gonna go into my stainless steel, which brings me also to another point. As you can see on the top of these, once I've removed the handles, there is plastic. A lot of the new faucets, especially the new ones, but there are some older ones too, have, unfortunately, a lot of plastic inside the brass bolts, if you will. It is very difficult to get out. I've tried using a file, I've used a punch, and what I find, there are two options. The first one, if you really are keen on it, you could open it up with an angle grinder, as you can see there. The other option that I think is more beneficial and easier for me, but a little bit less environmentally friendly, is actually taking it and putting it into my bonfire pit. After a little while, when the bolt gets hot, the plastic actually starts to bubble. It starts coming out of all these holes. And once it is cool, it actually becomes a really thick, almost ash that is easy. Once I start hitting with a punch, it crumbles and I'm able to remove it. So even though there is a little bit of ash still on this, this is still gonna be clean brass. So I find that is the best method. And a lot of the newer ones, as I said, are heavily coated inside with plastic. So hopefully that's a good tip to use. Another one I see a lot of is people bring these in. They'll look at it because there is a little bit of metal on here. They will just bring it in as is and hope to get good price. You will get dirty brass because of the metal on top. Very easy to get this handle off. It's just a bolt on the top. And this right here weighs about 2.5 pounds, this big elbow here. It will, once I take this screw off, as you can see, it becomes something like this. There is sometimes a little bit of metal in here. Very easy, as I said. You take an angle grinder, well worth the time cutting it open, because there may be a small little pin, metal pin in there. And if your scrapyard puts a magnet to it and realizes that there is still steel in there, you're gonna get penalized. So, as I said, angle grinders are great with brass. It's very easy to cut them and a great way to quickly turn a profit on brass. As I said, this is about 2.5 pounds. The last one I wanna look at are these little fancy dancy taps. I find a lot of these from bigger additions. Some people are renovating, and at first I thought these ones were going to be just chrome. And again, before you check to see, you want to make sure that it's real. So again, you do the ping test. As you can hear, just like a bell. This is metal, so that's the first thing. The second thing I like to do is the scratch test on this. If I was to scratch, this does not reveal brass. However, if I open this up, which I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna, hopefully, unscrew, if I can, there it is, unscrew this handle. And what I noticed is this, if I scratch part of it, which I'm gonna do here, this is actually brass. This is brass. This one is also brass, if I scratch that. So this is a nice brass nut. This, however, is a piece of ceramic, I think, and I do have to take this off because if I left it all together, I'm gonna get penalized with that. So very easy to take apart. And now I'm left with just this piece. As I said, it is going to be probably chrome because it is non-magnetic. It could be stainless steel. I'm looking inside. I'm gonna just probably, I may just put this into my stainless, no, I'm gonna put it in chrome because it is a really thick, shiny coating on this. So this is going to be chrome. Another thing that I should have mentioned as well, sometimes You don't even have to do the work to figure it out. Sometimes it actually will say on the tap if it's stainless steel. I don't have an example of that, but as I said, the magnet to rule out if it's not stainless steel is non-magnetic. So hopefully that helped. Hopefully, you know, it will allow you an easier chance to maximize your profit, sort these a little bit better. I found in my experience, usually the zinc and the chrome ones, my scrapyard throws them all together because I don't have a lot of them anyway. So they really are not going to take too much time with that. But if you were to compare the two, chrome is a lot more bright and shiny, reflective, whereas zinc is more dull. Stainless steel does not or is not magnetic. Again, you definitely want to do the scratch test to make sure it's not brass underneath. But for sure, make sure you separate those metals. Make sure to maximize your profit. Because as I said, if I was to bring this whole thing in, there's about 20 pounds here. At $1, I'd make $20. As I'm sorting this stuff, I'm gonna probably have about $60 worth of material here and maybe more. So hopefully you found that informative. Please comment down below, like, share, subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next video. Tin Man out.